Hey guys, I want to show you this deck today. This deck is called Amphibious Assault. This deck is a deck that I built and has a really nice infinite loop in it. And it's a nice one that kind of takes a little while to set up. And here's what I mean. I'm talking about, of course, World Spell, the World Spell. You can see here this first ability. It allows you to pick one of the first 4 non-saga creature or support cards from your library. You can take that card, put it in your hand. The second ability here allows you to do the exact same thing. And the third ability, this is the important one, the first 2 non-saga creature or support cards from your hand without mana gain full mana. Alright, so that one's important. We're going to try to use that third ability. And we're going to try to use that third ability here with this card, Inexorable Tide. Inexorable Tide is a nice one that has this proliferate ability. When you cast any card, you'll be allowed to use this proliferate ability. Proliferate, you can read it here for yourself, but the important thing is read the next chapter of each saga you control. Alright, so what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to have this card in. Then we're going to try to play this card. When we play this card, if we have it on the second one, it's going to trigger the third one, right? That third one is important. It's going to take the first 2 non-saga creature or support cards that don't have any mana. It's going to fill them with mana and you're going to be able to play them. What we're trying to go for is this card here. The Sylvan Messenger. Sylvan Messenger is a nice one. If you have this card in your hand and it plays, you're going to be able to take the next elf card from your deck, put it into your hand, and it's not going to have any mana on it, which is a good thing, because if it doesn't have any mana on it, it will be eligible for this third ability here, right? And what's going to happen is, once it is eligible and you play it, you'll be able to take another Sylvan Messenger, put that in your hand, and then it becomes subject to this third ability again. And because that third ability is playable, it's going to launch the Sylvan Messenger again, and it's going to cause an infinite loop where you're going to be able to launch a lot of Sylvan Messengers. And as you can see, they're 4/4. They're going to bulk up really big, really strong, really fast. That's what we want. That's how we're going to win games. If you have these cards, I'd suggest putting together this deck and then trying it out. One of the things you're going to want to have also is Tyvar, Jubilant Brawler. This one is nice because it gives haste to those elks or elves as they come out, right? Those elves. You can see here there's several other cards. This one is good for defense, another one good for defense, another one good for defense. These 2 are a nice combo. Every time you have a card that comes out, or every time you draw rather, your opponent's first card in hand is going to cost 2 extra, right? So that's going to be good for defense. This card is nice because it helps you find the cards that you need. It's also going to pair really well with the Sphinx tutelage here. You're going to be able to draw 2 cards instead of 1 card, and each of those cards are going to make your opponent's first card cost 2 extra. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the gameplay. What we're trying to do is get that combo out as fast as we can. We're going to need 2 Sylvan Messengers once we have our Inexorable Tide and World Spell out. But you know what? This deck, of course, is usable for Kiora, and Kiora has that ability to help you to pull those creatures. Okay, so here we are. We have 1 Sylvan Messenger. We're still going to need the combo of the World Spell and the Inexorable Tide. But this is what I was talking about, right? If you have this right here, you play it. Swirling Waters is going to allow you to grab a creature, give it 16 mana. And because this is your only creature, you're going to be able to have another one of these. Okay, so at this point, what we need is the Inexorable Tide and the World Spell. We have that. We're going to need 1 more Sylvan Messenger, and then we're good to go. If we don't have that Sylvan Messenger, as I said, we can use this, the Swirling Waters. That will help us to pull that other one that we need. Okay, so that's what we're going to need. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to play some really, really good defense until we get those cards. Alright, and that's kind of how this deck will work. You have to play some really good defense until you're able to get those cards that you need. Once you get the cards that you need, it's go time. You can win it on the very first turn that you're able to launch those, as long as you got that 1 card that gives you the haste. Okay, we're looking good here. Let's go with this. The opponent is powering up some cards. Alright, Sylvan Messenger is in your hand. Since you have 2, what that means is you won't be needing this one here. You can start using the Crashing Waves. Crashing Waves is nice because it allows you to drain 6 mana from your opponent, which is some nice defense, and it gives you 6 mana there. So it's going to help you with some defense and some offense, and that's going to be really, really good for you. Alright, there we are. Sphinx Tutelage is out. This is a nice one. Oh, Flame Blast Dragon. Now, as you see, oh, another messenger. Now that we've been able to draw a card, what you've seen is we are able to drain the opponent's hand. Alright, or increase the amount of cost for this first card. So that's really good on the defensive end. There we go. Turn to Frog, yes. Okay, that's nice. The opponent has a frog instead of a creature. I tell you what, we'll match the loyalty gems because it's going to be able to power up that first Swirling Waters ability, or actually not the Swirling Waters, but that first ability. Alright, here we are. We got World Spell out. Well, actually in hand. Okay. Crashing Waves is nice, but we don't need it exactly yet. We got to start finding that Inexorable Tide. Once we get that Inexorable Tide, we're going to be able to launch some really good stuff here. There's the opponent playing some good cards, buffing up that frog, which is not really good for us. Alright, tell you what, let's go like this. There we go. There we go, nice match 5, that's going to help. And let's see, we don't have a ton of things going on here. But we'll go with this. There we are. There we go. Okay. Right, the opponent matches what's worth 3. And you know what? Tell you what we'll do. We'll hit this ability here. That's going to be able to shred those 2 for us and give us some nice defense. You can kind of see the point of this deck, right? We're trying to play some really good defense in hopes that we're going to be able to defend well enough that we're going to be able to launch our finishing move, and that's going to be really, really good. That's going to be the end of the game. But in order to get there, we got to play some defense first. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh no. See, we were about to kill those 2 creatures here, this one and this one, but not anymore because this card here, Rem Corollas, will prevent damage. We'll get rid of Rem Corollas with this. We got some things in the hand that we need. Alright, we'll go like this, and then we'll start powering up this guy here. Alright, now with that being said, let's go like this, push this guy back into the hand, and that makes those first 2 creatures that our opponent has quite vulnerable. So let's see what they're going to be able to do. Oh, another Rem Corollas. Okay, so that keeps us from being able to kill these 2, which is not good. Oh, Great Aura. Okay. That's a real dangerous card. That card, of course, will destroy pretty much everything on the board except for the vanguards that we have. Tell you what, we don't need that one exactly right now. Displacement Wave, we'll hold on to that. And I tell you what, we'll go with this. Normally, I would save that move right there because we want to make sure we have that in case the Inexorable Tide comes about. But you know what? We're going to use it anyway. What we really want to do is get rid of Rem Corollas there and see if we can kill those 2 creatures that the opponent has. Let's see, if they're not able to play that other Rem Corollas that I suspect is in the hand. Oh, there it is. Alright, they're able to do some more damage again, and this one is going to hurt, guys. Our creature is down. Alright, Alhammer's Archive. This is a nice one just because it's going to allow us to draw 2 cards. Every time that we need to draw 1, we'll draw 2. Okay, I'm taking a look here, and it makes sense for us to use this here. It's going to return all of the creatures to the owner's hands. That, of course, will get these guys out of here. Oh, nice shot there to hit Remcorolus. Okay, so I'm just hoping that they don't have another one in hand. That's not going to be a good thing that we need. Skitter Beam right there. As I mentioned, guys, we're just trying to play some defense here. We're trying to grab that final card that we need. That final card, obviously, is the Inexorable Tide. Tell you what, we'll launch this guy. Reason being is it will allow us to attack as soon as we launch our combo, which is really nice. We don't have to worry about having the ability to use haste. Right there. Okay. Now I'm hoping for Inexorable Tide soon. That's kind of the one thing that you just gotta have. You gotta have that combo, right? Once you have Inexorable Tide and World Spell, then yeah, you're done. Yeah, you're gonna win this one here. Alright, I'm kind of looking around, trying to see if we can launch that Elhammer's Archive again. Let's go with that. One of the interesting things about this deck is that it kind of looks like we're losing, but this deck is one that just launches an amazing finishing move. So once you're able to hit that finishing move, you got that last piece of the puzzle, then yeah, it's pretty much over. You could be losing and you'll still come out on top. Alright, let's see. I'm kind of getting the feeling that we'll go with this. Inexorable Tide has to be somewhere soon. We're going to have Elhammer's Archive out. That's going to allow us to draw cards at a quicker pace. There we go. And now every turn that we're supposed to draw one card, we will be drawing two. That's going to speed up the process of us getting our Inexorable Tide. There's one, and there's two. There's the Inexorable Tide right there. Alright, let's do this. What I'm going to try to do here, folks, is, you know what, we already have one of the elves out. We're going to try to play Inexorable Tide as fast as we can, because once we have the Inexorable Tide out, this game is over. It looks like we will have a match 5 here, and I believe we're going to have Inexorable Tide out this turn, and you'll get to see how this combo works. Okay, we'll get rid of this. And boom, this is it, guys. Inexorable Tide is out. Our world spell is out. We're gonna put it on 2 here. It's gonna say pick one of the ones in your deck there. Yep, we'll go with that. It's pushed to 3 because of that Inexorable Tide. It lights up these 2 for us. Sylvan Messenger comes down. It fetches another Sylvan Messenger, which gets mana. Once that one comes down, we fetch another one. That one comes down, it'll fetch another one. This one will come down, it will fetch another one, as you'll see in the hand there. And you can kind of get the idea, right? This is an infinite loop where we're just pulling Sylvan Messengers out one after the other. We're using the Inexorable Tide to trigger this third ability from World Spell. Every single time you hit that, you're going to be able to launch a Sylvan Messenger who will pull out another Sylvan Messenger and repeat the process over and over and over again. Okay, with that, guys, you can see how it's going. This is going to be the end of the game. I'm just going to keep running it like this until the loop timer tells us, hey, do you want to stop? I'm going to say yes. At that point, we're going to have enough to win this game. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to hit the fast forward button here, and we will run this thing real quick, and you can see how this game will end. Alright guys, that's a loop right there. You can see how it's a nice infinite loop. It sets up really nicely. This deck is one where you can play a lot of good defense until you have the cards that you need. And then once you got the cards that you need, you've seen how it works. The loop works really nicely. You have a big creature that ends the game for you. Alright, with that being said, I'm going to stop the loop. Our creature is going to do damage. We're going to win the game, and that's going to be it. There you guys go. Hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe. That helps the channel. Alright, good gaming, guys.